Well, we go to Tampa, and guess what? The boys don't slow down. They're in fifth gear. That's right. They are full steam ahead. I love this version of the Houston Astros. We're going to talk about Caleb Orton. We're going to talk about some dingers. We're going to talk about how the Trop has turned into the juice box. Let's go.
Yainer Diaz, this is Locked On Astros.
Hello and welcome to Locked On Astros, your daily Astros podcast. Here are your hosts, Eric the Man Huysman and Brett H-Town Wheelhouse Chancey.
We are Locked On Houston Astros, and we hope that you join us for a daily Locked On Astros podcast. My name is Eric Huysman. You can find me on X at Eric Talk Shows. You can find the show at Locked On Astros, your team every day. Thank you for making us part of your daily routine, whether it's on YouTube. Go ahead and hit that little red button down there that says subscribe. Make us your first listen. Apple, Odyssey, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcast. Go and check out the Locked On Astros podcast and make us your first listen and become an everydayer. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Make every moment more as the playoffs wind down. The sports stop sporting like we want them to, but we know baseball's in full gear. FanDuel is hooking up all customers with a boost or bonus daily. That's right. There's something for everyone every day, all summer long. Visit FanDuel.com to get started today. So, Brett, the Astros are red hot. Their Framber Valdez is red hot, and we have some hot hitters in the lineup. This, like I was talking yesterday, this team has got me the feelings again, like I've been feeling in the past.
No, yeah, definitely, man. This is what you want to see. You have a team that is absolutely taking advantage of pitchers that are not throwing good stuff. And earlier in the year, you would go up against guys that weren't Cy Young winners and you make them look like freaking Cy Young winners. And it was frustrating because you knew what this team had. And we're still without Kyle Tucker. We'll talk about later on some awards that were handed out recently. But let's look at let's look at the win probability added people before let me just tell the people, if you don't know where to find me, it's at H-Town Wheelhouse on X, Instagram, and TikTok. Find me at Astros411 on X, on Facebook, and Back to the Bullpen on X, on YouTube, on iHeartRadio, pretty much Instagram, anywhere. Just look for me. I'm there. I'm out there. But look at the win probability added leaders. Framber Valdez, 16.5. Yainer Diaz, 15.8. Yordan Alvarez, 11.3. Alex Bregman didn't even make the list, and he contributed today. This team is doing what they need to do, and I'm excited. I'm going to show some stuff about Caleb Orton later. We'll talk about that in the last segment. Everything that I see, I like what I'm seeing. I like men moving on base. I like even Jeremy Pena sliding into first now. Easy.
Yeah, I got a little bit worried there.
We got it but then again, you want these guys like all gas, no brakes right now because the Mariners continue to win.
But they are off today, so the Astros are once again in first place by a half game.
Yes.
Yay! They're 8 games above 500 for the first time. They're on a 6-game winning streak. This is Astros baseball. This is what we have become spoiled with. This is what I know people around baseball are like, oh, crap, I thought the Astros were done with the way they got started. But no, they are 51-31 after getting off to that bad start. They are on pace for a if they would have started the season like this, they would definitely be on pace for a 100-win season.
Easily.
But unfortunately, they got off to that bad start. I guess you can call it bad luck. I guess you can call it they weren't clicking. I don't know if it was change of manager or just whatever was going on.
I think it's a lot of things, Eric. And I think that's a good topic to not necessarily sit on for like 20 minutes. But you do have a new manager. You have a ton of injuries. Someone actually, I think it was Larry the GM. I got to give him credit. He was actually showing how many runs per game they were averaging versus their FIP.
Right.
And it's about the same as it was last year. Last year, we didn't have all those injuries. So actually, Joe Espada deserves a lot of credit because he actually is managing a team into existence, and his bullpen usage, you can't really argue with it here lately. I know we've had a lot of things to say about lineup, about players playing and all that stuff, but really he's been hitting the nail on the head, and they are playing with confidence. They're having fun. They're smiling. I mean, I don't know what this is, but Yainer hit a home run and he's pointing at his eye. There's something going on in the clubhouse with that. But I bet you either Framber or Caleb Ort, I wonder who got the pitcher belt. I wonder if it was Framber or if it was Ort, because Ort maybe deserves some consideration. And then I wonder if Yainer got the belt today. He crushed that ball. It's just good to see. Baseball is more fun when your guys are winning, right?
Yeah, you know that Bregman's home run was pretty big, but at the same time, Yainer Diaz, he was batting 300 at one point in this game. I know it went down to 297, but you have a catcher that's batting 300. He's probably got the best. He's got the best batting average of all the catchers in baseball. And what we're seeing is the development of a young star, a young catching star. And so we're seeing the power come a little bit more like we saw last year. So I think what we're seeing is him starting to mature. The league caught up to him, but now he's starting to catch back up to the league. I think he's starting to settle into being the everyday catcher. He's starting to gel a little bit more with the pitchers. They're getting used to throwing to him a little bit more. And what you're seeing now is the development of a superstar. And the way he calls the game and the way he hits, is the way the Astros win. Of course, you need Alvarez, you need Bregman, you need Altuve, you need all the other guys. But Diaz, especially where they're putting him in the lineup, you need him to go. And so I think that as much as he hits the ball and crushes the ball, I think that's as far as the Astros go. But that also means that you're having a deeper lineup especially when you're having DeZenzo hitting, you're having Pena hitting, and even Singleton added a hit today.
Yeah, exactly. And when you have guys like Jeremy Pena getting hits and just upping that average, not chasing. And look, I want to at times criticize his infield hits, right? Because I want to see him hitting home runs. I don't know that he's your quote unquote your home run guy year in and year out. He is your let's play small ball, let's get on base guy. Because when a guy gets on base, you have more probability of scoring than when they're not on base.
He's your clutch guy.
And when Jeremy Pena is on base, he can steal because he has the speed. And so you definitely want that. I like the steals. I like the more aggressive approach. Remember, Joe Espada did say, we're going to be more aggressive on the base paths. And they have.
Hey, Brett, without looking, don't look. Look at me. Look into my eyes. Who has the most RBIs?
Oh, I'll tell
Alvarez or Diaz?
Yainer Diaz, 66, I believe. Sorry. I keep up with my guy Yainer, man. I love Yainer Diaz. I love this. When he hit that, I looked it up and I was like, oh my gosh, he leads the club in RBI. When's the last time a catcher, if ever, has led this club in RBI? I don't think it's ever been a thing. Yeah. I doubt Brad Ausmus did. I doubt Jason Castro did. I doubt Alan Ashby did. Joe Sambito. I mean, I can go back and back and back. I think
the Astros wished it was Mitch Molesky, but he never panned out.
Mitch Molesky. Or, hey, how about my guy J.R. Tolles from Crosby, Texas, man?
Oh, he had 5 RBIs in one game. So
no, J.R. Tolles from Crosby, babe. Crosby Cougars in the house. That's right.
Yeah, definitely. By the way, I did see a note earlier that the Marlins have let go Oz Ocampo.
Yes.
So this is this opportunity for the Astros to bring him back. I know that he was a good with the scouting, I believe, international with the Astros.
Now the director of international scouting might have something to say about that.
Well, he could still come in and help.
Maybe he needs to be in maybe
assistant to the assistant
to the regional manager. Maybe Alemnis Diaz can just be like a rah-rah guy. They can let him go, and then him and Oz Ocampo can like take some trips to Cuba and get going, because Alemnis Diaz is Cuban. So why not move him in? Sorry, Alemnis. Let's just move you into the scouting department. Let's open that somebody else. But
let's go and bring up Shea Wickham at this point. I mean, we see this like burst of life from the Astros bats, and DeZenzo came up at about the same time. Exactly. Is there any similarity?
There could be. I think they knew what they were doing when when they brought him up. Tony Eusebio, no, it's actually an S, not a C. But no, Eusebio did not lead in RBIs. I think he actually had like a really long hitting streak, but he didn't play every day. Like, what was like 20 something
Yeah,
games?
it was a hitting streak, I think. And
But
I think he had pinch hit a couple times. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like 20 something games, but over like a span of like 50 games.
Yeah.
So, anyways, look, I think that DeCenzo is going to become the everyday guy for first base.
Yeah, and I know he took some reps in the outfield. Somebody else took some reps in outfield. We'll talk about that next.
This episode is brought to you by SupplyHouse. For all your plumbing, HVAC, and electrical needs, go to SupplyHouse.com. Get supplies from the site for the skilled trades. That's right, SupplyHouse.com. It is a reliable way to order plumbing, HVAC, and electrical products online. Their easy-to-use website is packed with helpful resources and the latest product info to help you get the job done right. Shop a complete inventory of over 200,000 parts from over 400 top brands and get your order delivered right to your door with fast shipping from coast to coast. Need help with an order? Get expert support and industry-leading service from the friendliest folks in the business and talk to a real person every time. Pros in the skilled trades get competitive edge by joining SupplyHouse.com's free Trade Master program. Every Trade Master gets access to a dedicated phone line, free shipping, and discounts on every order. So join the thousands of trade pros already benefiting from their free membership at SupplyHouse.com/T-M and order plumbing, HVAC, and electrical supplies from anywhere with just a few clicks at SupplyHouse.com.
Hey guys, thank you for making Locked On Astros podcast your first listen every day. Whether it's on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to us. Make your first listen. Apple, Odyssey, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcasts. Go ahead and check us out. And we appreciate each one of you everydayers. Go ahead and check out Michael Connor on the Locked On Astros podcast as well. He does a great job. Go ahead and check out Sully over at the Locked On MLB podcast as well. And go ahead and make sure you check us all out on your Amazon Fire TV stick. It's awesome to see us on your big screen with these two handsome fellows here.
Oh, yeah. Why wouldn't you want? I mean, look, if you have a 75-inch TV, imagine that right here.
Yeah. So before we go too deep into the hitting, I know we started talking about DeCenzo and Yainer Diaz, but I do want to focus a little bit on Framber Valdez.
Yeah.
Do you know that this is the 9th straight win for the Astros when Framber Valdez has started? This is 7 consecutive wins for Framber Valdez himself. But I remember around the trade deadline, a lot of people were like, oh, he's crap. Trade him now while he has some value. But this is why. And a lot of people early in the season were like, Alex Bregman sucks. Let's trade him now. And I was like, be patient. This guy is going to come around. And people are calling me Homer, saying, Eric, you're a Homer. You're always rooting for Bregman. Yes, of course you're going to root for Alex Bregman because of this. He is coming around, and he is probably going to lead the Astros back to the promised land. And that's back to the ALCS and beyond.
Now, what happens, Eric, if, this team, I still think they win the AL West. I still think they make the playoffs. Now, we're getting closer. You could possibly have 2 AL West teams in. I don't know if you know this. We're only like 2.5 games behind the Royals. So the Mariners are now behind us, right? They're in the wild card. They're only 2.5 out of the 3rd wild card spot. It's very possible that a second team from the AL West could sneak in. That Kansas City series, that Orioles series, is going to be massive for the Houston Astros. And so I don't know if you saw I think the Mariners already I think they hit a home run or something against the Orioles. I'm not looking at the score right now, but
the Mariners are off tonight.
Oh, they're off tonight. Okay. Well, the last time they played the Orioles, they actually beat them, and they're not coming down to earth. I don't know, man. Like, that's a team to watch. Now, the Astros aren't scoreboard watching. They are controlling their own destiny. They're doing what they do day in and day out. But this team, the way that they're going, I really see that. Imagine Alex Bregman, get back to my point, Alex Bregman becoming a major contributor this playoff, not just a Game 5 World Series walk-off hit. I'm talking about ALDS, ALCS World Series. And what if Bregman has his best postseason of his career? I mean, is it possible that the Astros shift? But is it possible that the Astros shift and try harder to keep Bregman? Because a lot of people are saying, well, he's on the wrong side of 30. Kyle Tucker's still on the upside of 30. He still hasn't reached 30 yet. So I don't know. I can't imagine watching a game without two guys, without Jose Altuve and without Alex Bregman. It's just hard for me to believe. And I felt like that before Carlos Correa left too. But anyways, yes, Framber, I'm glad you mentioned that. Unreal.
Yeah, and he's just he's been on a roll recently. I know that 5 2/3 innings day, 3 hits, 1 earned run. I know that was an earned run, but the ball got around away from Pedro Leon,
Right.
so it could have been easily a shutout. But 9 strikeouts, 101 pitches, 39 swings, 12 whiffs. His ERA is now 3.38 on the season. The Astros are now 63-58. They are doing really good, and it's not just that they're winning like 1-0 games. They are winning by a lot and by big margin, like the game Sunday, the game today. And today's game, what they did today, 6-1, I think was the final score. That is a big score. So I think what you're seeing is the offense getting more confident. They're getting, I know not everybody's clicking. You have Chas McCormick in the lineup. He's still struggling a little bit. He did get a walk today and scored a run. Leon is struggling a little bit, but once Tucker comes up, maybe.
No, Leon's gone. Leon is gone. Once Tucker comes back, I don't think he survives.
Oh yeah, I know. That's what I said.
He hasn't earned. Leon hasn't earned his spot. It's unfortunate. Today he misplayed a ball, but apparently that baseball is not easy to see. And look, when I listen to the broadcasts, I listen to things that Blummer says that he adds from his major league experience. And he talks about when you go to a new ballpark, especially like Tropicana Field, it's not just routine. You look up in the sky and there's the ball. I mean, they showed on the replay how he took his eye off the ball for a second to see where he was. And Eric, he actually took his eye off enough to where he overran the ball, a simple pop fly. Now, luckily it didn't hurt the Astros too bad, but not just that, but it's his presence at the plate. It's his swinging. He just looks like he just kind of back to his old self. He needs to be back in AAA again, working on that swing because he's not playing every day. He did play 2 games in a row. I think they're trying to get him going. You're up here. We want you to contribute. But this team, for all intents and purposes, has what it needs when they go into the playoffs. And check this out. I don't know if you saw this, but who would have thought that back right here? This is from Joseph right here. Who would have guessed the Astros starting pitching staff? It took us 10 games back to first place with Brown, Valdez, Arrighetti, Blanco, and then added Kikuchi. If I would have told you that, Eric, that a winning Astros team was going to have Kikuchi and Arrighetti and Blanco as a part of that winning success, and Luis Garcia wouldn't be back, and Justin Verlander would be on the IL, and you would have been like, well, okay, I don't know if they're going to bring him from 10 games back, but that's not a bad 5, right? Man, I can't wait till JV gets back.
Yeah, and I think that what we see with Kikuchi is he's already learning things. He said that I haven't seen an organization that gives us so much data. It gives me a ability to prepare for games. This is a winning organization, and this is him after 2 starts. So just imagine once he's able to soak in all this information and put it into practice. I think we're going to see a much better Kikuchi. And I think what the Astros did was they gambled. Yes, his numbers weren't great with the Blue Jays, but what they did was they said, we like his stuff, we like what we think we can do with him, and so let's go and trade for him. They had to give up a lot, but look what they're doing, and look what Blake Snell's doing. A lot of people would have to trade a whole bunch of prospects for him, but he's dominating baseball right now. A lot of teams would have loved to have him on his team right now. Yes, it would have cost a lot, but he's dominating. He would be a difference maker. And Kikuchi so far, maybe I wouldn't use a difference maker, but he is definitely making a difference.
dude, his wasn't his first, didn't he have like 26 swings and misses his first start?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the most. I don't think JV's ever done that on this team, like ever. That is a huge swing and miss rate. And you followed up with like Hunter Brown saying, "Oh yeah, Eric Getty strikes out 13." He's like, "I'm gonna one up him." I mean, this pitching staff has got a confidence in it. And the bullpen, when we'll talk about last segment, I want to get to Caleb Ort because it's huge. And then I want to talk about the players of the week.
The co-players of the week. Thank you for listening to Locked On Astros.
Ibotta is a great app. It's free. Download it today. Use a promo code LOCKEDONMLB, and I'll tell you what you get at the end of this commercial. Sandal sunscreen and snacks for the kids. What do they have in common? Probably the fact that you're buying a ton of them. Well, don't stress out. It's summertime, which means it's barbecue season. Stock up on all your grilling favorites. Earn cash back on every purchase when you use Ibotta. It's a free app that lets you earn cash back on hundreds of items from groceries to beauty supplies, even toys. The average Ibotta user earns $256 per year. Other apps give you points that don't amount to much. With Ibotta, you can earn cash back that you can withdraw to your bank account, PayPal, or gift cards. You can save on over 2,400 brands, shop over 1,000 retailers, including big shops like Lowe's, Macy's, Sephora, Best Buy, and more. So it's time to join over 50 million users who are excited. Right now, Ibotta is offering our listeners $5 just for trying Ibotta by using the code LOCKEDONMLB when you register. Just go to the App Store, Google Play, download the free Ibotta app. That's IBOTTA in the Google Play or App Store. Use the promo code LOCKEDONMLB. This episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Go to FanDuel.com today and check out what they have going for you. Look, I love sports. You love sports. I love them so much. I never want them to stop. But as the playoffs wind down, we get fewer games, and the sports aren't sporting like I want them to. But FanDuel lets me keep the sports going whenever I want. All I have to do, open the app and dream up bets anytime I'm in the mood. And this summer, FanDuel is hooking up all customers with a boost or a bonus daily. That's right. There's something for everyone every day, all summer long. So head over to FanDuel.com and start making the most of your summer. Why not? Because FanDuel, it's the official sports betting partner of Major League Baseball.
Hey guys, thank you for making Locked On Astros podcast your first listen every day. Whether it's on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to us. Make us your first listen on Apple, Odyssey, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcasts. Go ahead and check us out and make us your first listen. Become an everydayer. I am watching Will Wagner make his debut, and he got a double on his first hit.
I just watched it too.
It is amazing to see this happen. I know that a lot of people thought that the Kikuchi trade was a lot. I know that Loperfido has struck out a lot since he's gone to Toronto. We knew that he was a strikeout guy. I know Will Wagner. We don't know. He's kind of the unknown there. We don't.
He's more of a wild card, right? Yeah, you weren't sure because I mean, look, he hadn't been given a chance. He's 26 years old. When a guy gets 25, 26 and he's still in the minors, you wonder if he's going to, produce. But maybe this is what Will Wagner needed. He moves teams and he gets called up. Him and Loperfido are friends. You got that chemistry right there. George Springer, a former Astro, you got that heritage right there. Boom. And I mean, against the Angels, why not? First pitch swinging, Eric. The first pitch he saw, he hit a double. It was a great shot. He got on second. So good for him. That's what I hope. I hope that a young man like that, especially the son of Billy Wagner, is very successful in his baseball career.
Too bad Kevin Biggio isn't there. That would be a cool little thing there, like two ex-players, kids.
Yeah, Kevin. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, look, Kevin's probably got a lot of work to do in the hitting lab. He was very good. He was not very good, but he was really good as a rookie. He just kind of cooled off. He would get hot, but man, for the most part, he just couldn't find the power stroke, and he's struggled. And I can't imagine being the son of a former like major league player, especially a Hall of Famer, and how much pressure that is. So, there's not that many King Griffey Juniors. King Griffey was a very good ball player, but he wasn't Ken Griffey Jr. Ken Griffey Jr. was 10 times better than his dad.
Hey, I got a little secret.
What?
The Rangers are closer to the A's than they are to the Astros.
Oh, I love it. I love it. One hit wonders. You horrible champions. You horrible defenders of the title. Gosh, man.
They are 7.5 games behind the Astros, and they are only what's that? That's about, doing my math here.
No, they're 7.5 games.
That's what I said.
They said 8.5. Sorry, my
bad. And so they are about 6.5.
Wild card.
They're 6.5 ahead of the A's. So
yeah, I mean, look, man, the Angels might catch them. 55-63.
They're only 4 games ahead of the Angels at this point. But I know I saw DeGrom starting to warm up. I know you have some pitchers that might be coming back for the Rangers. So I'm not going to count the Rangers out of the picture totally yet, because there's always some type of run that they could do. Who thought the Astros would be back where they were? No, honestly, who thought the Astros would be back where they were?
Okay. But the Astros are the Astros. The Rangers are the Rangers. The Astros have a better makeup. Now, the difference last year, you had several guys have career years. Bruce Bochy changed the mindset, changed the mentality of that club. So because they had Bruce Bochy, I would say more because of Bruce Bochy, maybe he goes in there and like starts kicking somebody's what in the clubhouse. I just don't think they have it. Look, I think they push back starts by both Eovaldi and by Scherzer. They're still struggling. When they come back, there's no telling how long they'll last. Their problem, Eric, is their bullpen.
Yeah.
And they can score when they want to, but they're not consistent enough. Garcia is having a down year compared to where last year he was just a baseball murderer,
Right. So let's go and move on. I know that I put in there in Spanish that Diaz is on fire. We already talked about him. Breggy Bomb. We already talked about that. He's had a whole bunch of home runs recently. And by the way, they named 2 players of the week in the American League. And it was Bregman, and who else?
It was Bregman and this guy, Mr. Yordan Alvarez.
Wait, he looks familiar. Who's that?
Yeah, he's the Cuban Crusher. This guy is just somebody who absolutely crushes baseballs for a living. Bregman, we got to give him his props. 3 games in a row with a home run. Eric, he's closer to Yordan and the other leaders in home runs than he's ever been, or been in a while. Not ever, but been in a while.
Right.
Up there, what he's got, 18 or 19 now. Home runs. This guy is like, who is this Alex Bregman that we're seeing? He's definitely the August Alex Bregman, because in August he kills it. I think he's hitting like almost 350, or no, he's hitting 4 something right now in August. But Alex Bregman is, gosh, I love watching him hit the baseball in August.
I know that DeZenzo was taking some fly balls in the outfield. They want to have some options, because we know that Alvarez has played a lot of games in left field. That's not ideal. He plays a good job out there, but they want to rest his legs. Yes, he's a better hitter when he's in left field, but ideally they would like to have him at DH a little bit more, just because, especially when you get in those bigger ballparks. At Fenway Park, sure. At Minute Maid Park, you can play some games.
So was he? I didn't really pay attention. Was he?
He was at DH day.
Okay, so the previous 5 games. Okay,
right.
Now the last 5 games, starting from today back, he's hitting 500 with 9 hits, 4 home runs, 7 RBIs. If you go back to 5 games where he played in left field in a row, he had like 485. I mean,
he's a better hitter. Evan Gattis was a better hitter when he was a catcher.
He went to DH, and what did he do? He got an RBI. He knocked guys in. This team is fun.
It's on fire. Yes.
What was that?
Anyway, Anyway, so we had another sighting in outfield. We had Kyle Tucker in the outfield today taking some fly balls.
Say the first 2 words before you said that, what that phrase was.
I forgot. That was 2 seconds ago. But anyway, so Kyle Tucker was taking some reps out in the outfield. And Joe
Well,
Espada said that he's making some forward steps. Doesn't mean he's ready to come back, but you had a different of opinion there.
Yeah, I don't know, man. He looked bad. He looked like he was walking tender-footed. He was trying to do some like knee kicks, some high knees. If y'all have X, just look up Brian McTaggart. He has some very grainy video. It looks like something from like MLB in 1975, but it's not encouraging. It makes me feel like a mid to late September kind of call up kind of mood. I just don't see Tucker coming back before mid-September now. I keep moving the goalpost, and look, you can't fault the guy. Okay. This is a guy that I'm really tired of people criticizing. I literally saw someone voice this opinion. They said, well, Kyle Tucker has never hustled in his career, so I don't expect him to hustle back on the field. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's a Gold Glove right fielder. He is like the dude slams his body up against the wall any chance he gets to rob a home run. He throws, what are y'all, stole 30 bases, hit 30. He should have gotten 30.
He was disappointed last year when he didn't get that 30.
I'm just like, whatever. Don't give me that. It's all these like all these like couch quarterbacks. I just can't stand that. Now I think some of that ire does go towards someone like a Lance McCullers or whatever, just because he's always like, he seems to never be healthy and fans naturally frustrated. But, Eric say that is on fire. No, Panda, do not ask. Mr. Supreme Panda, don't ask. Don't worry about it. Just act like it never happened.
Alrighty, so let's go and move on to Ort. Caleb Ort was a guy that the Astros claimed on waivers. The Orioles, they have so much talent over there that they basically just say, oh, let's just get rid of this guy. And he goes to another organization and becomes maybe not a star, but a valuable piece. And so it took a little bit for Ort to make his mark with the Astros. He had to go up and come up and then go back down. But now that he's up, he's actually on fire right now, to quote that song. And he's actually in, I believe, in 10 innings, 10 innings pitched. He has a 0.90 ERA. He has 14 strikeouts and 3 hits, no walks.
Get this, over 3 seasons, Eric, he had a 6.27 ERA from 21 to 23. I want you to look at this chart real quick, okay? The four-seam fastball, he reduced again his usage to right at 60%. His sweeper, it's under 20%, or I believe around 18%. His changeup use has gone up. His cutter use has gone up. The Houston Astros have gotten this guy to maximize the pitches that he is effective with, and that's what this team does.
Right.
And I'll tell you right now, because I was talking to Mike about this, and he said, look, Caleb Ferguson, I know he hasn't been good for a couple seasons, but he said the guy has big stuff, and if you can get him pitching where you want him to pitch and you can correct some stuff, he goes, at some point, Caleb Ferguson's going to be in a game where it matters, where it's going to be a high leverage situation, and you want him right. So we've got the horses in the barn. We've got the coaches to be able to get these guys on the right track. Caleb Ort is what I don't understand your
Caleb Ferguson or Forrest Whitley.
Well, Forrest Whitley right now, 14 straight innings. Scoreless. I mean, dude, the dude's balling out right now. I'm telling you, I'm Team Whitley. I think there's going to be a late season call up for him to come up, maybe give someone a rest at least, but he's going to get a shot to do something. Look, he's feeling good. His velocity's up. He just pitched 2 innings, so they're kind of ramping him up a little bit. I like the role that he has. He's embraced it. He's got a positive mindset. He's staying mentally focused. And that's all we want. And all the jokes about, oh, he's a unicorn. Is he real? Look, he's absolutely freaking real. This guy is a man. And I'm telling you, I know the work. I've actually talked to him, and I know how hard he works, and I'm rooting for him 100%.
Yeah, just like you said, Kikuchi, the Astros have given him exactly what pitches to throw and a better way of using what he has. They're not trying to reinvent him and just change who he is, just capitalize on what he does best. And that's what they've done with Ort. And I think with time, we may see that with Ferguson, because we have to remember he did have some success with the Dodgers early in his career. So he is not a total bum. He's just somebody that has had a bad year with the Yankees. And so maybe the Astros can fix him like they've fixed so many different pitchers in the past. So we'll have to see. We got Kikuchi versus Boz tomorrow. So we'll have to see what this matchup does. I know that the Rays have faced Kikuchi a lot because they're in the same division. So they know what to expect. But at the same time, this is a different Kikuchi. He's using a lot less of the curveball, more of the changeup. So we'll have to see what happens in this game. Any predictions?
I just think the Astros offense is going to take care of business. I'm not worried about this. Kikuchi's going to go out as long as he has his swing and miss stuff that he had in his first 2 starts. I don't care what the Astros history in the Trop is overall. They didn't care today. They absolutely won. They did what they had to do.
They had fun.
Yeah, they had fun. I think you go out. I think you do it again. There's a lot of Astros fans. It's basically an Astros home game. And look at that. By the way, Wagner's 2 for 2 with an RBI. Good job. Good job, Billy Wagner Jr., the third.
Okay. I mean, Will Wagner, okay, I wish him all the best. But if the Astros go on and win the World Series with Kikuchi, I mean, you can't look back at this trade several years and be like, man, I wish we had Will Wagner. I mean, I guess you can, but at the same time, it got you to another World Series. So you have to give up some things. And with all that grinding and all that crap we gave Dana Brown earlier in the year about him being positive about the team when they were struggling, oh, they're a winning streak away. He's been right. They have been winning streak away, and now they're in first place. So I think that we've got to trust that he knows what he's doing, and he's got to draft the talent that they need for the future. And we'll have to see what they do next year with Bregman, Tucker, Valdez.
So Bryce Matthews was put on the 7-day IL in AA for back muscle spasms. They announced that today. So I saw he went on the IL the day before. So they actually announced his back muscle spasms.
Right.
So Bryce maybe needs to chill out a little bit, relax, go to the spa, get a massage, whatever you got to do to just get back on the field. Because I want to see Bryce Matthews in an Astros uniform sooner rather than later.
I don't think you'll see him up this year, but definitely at some point next year if the Astros need it. But guys, that's all we got for this edition of Locked On Astros podcast. My name is Eric Huysman. He is Brett Chancey. We appreciate everybody that listens to our podcast every day. We got earlier podcasts. I'm glad. I love these Tampa Bay games where you can. We're doing a podcast early, so guys, thank you for making us your first listen on Apple, Odyssey, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcast. Go and check us out and become an everydayer. Go and check out Sully at the Locked On MLB podcast as well. And we'll see you later. And go Stros.
Go Stros. Let's go.